Now again, Nimrod, right? Before I fell 3 stories, this is the kind of work I did before I joined the Navy, right? And this counts because it was over a year. I worked Roger Wood Monday through Friday, uh, 7 to 4:30, I believe, right? And right, I think we got an hour of lunch and 2 breaks, right, or 7 to 4, or something like that. For at least a year before I joined, I worked Crispy Chick, which was a little KFC in Georgia, but started by a different dude, right? We served potato cakes, mashed potatoes, fries, fried chicken, right? Biscuits. So I could bake the biscuits, I could fry up the chicken, or I could bake up the mashed potatoes. Sometimes we had macaroni and cheese, right? And I took karate though from 13 to 17, but I could still do it when I got off work, right? For me, the job now. Now, even if I did it like 10, uh, let's say 20 to 30 minutes, right? I was never in pain from it. Right? Now I'm lucky if I can even kick sometimes without any pain, right? Even still over my head, right? See, if you can kick over your head, that's cool and all, right? But it really has nothing to do with karate or self-defense. Most people in martial arts don't kick you in the head. That's just in the movies, right? By the way. A headshot is more difficult because you got to put all your power into that kick, right? To even phase somebody, right? But a good kick to the stomach, which is about, you know, mid-high, right? That'll mess someone up more than a kick to the head, right? You'll knock the wind out of them, idiot, right? And again, karate ain't just about throwing the punch. It's also blocking it. My arms work fine, so I could even sit in a chair and do karate, dumbass, right? Karate ain't nothing special. I'm not talking matrix karate either. We're talking real karate, self-defense, right? It ain't the same as you think it is, right? We're not talking moving ninjutsu either. We're talking 17th century ninja teachings from Japan, right? That have nothing to do with the movies, trust me, right? They do try to get you to use Zen a little bit, Buddhism, right? And kind of learn to feel things like with Ben Campbell before they touch you, right? They try to teach you how to use your sense of feeling, right? To sense someone about to touch you, for example, right? And I not only did it with Ben Campbell, but my brother Mark Steve Crutchfield, right? He tried to do the ninja touchy-feely thing, right? Where I wear a blindfold or I close my eyes, right? And then you try to touch me, and your hand like water's coming out of it, right? Well, he didn't try to touch me. He tried to trick me first, and I had my eyes closed. But when he was about to touch me, I raised my hand for real, right? And Ben, like I told you before, thought I was sleeping on watch, but I was sitting up, meditating, right? Now, there's several reasons I could be doing that during the watch. One is to rest my eyes, right? If I'm sitting straight up, vertically, though I did have hypersomnia, right? By the way. And it was diagnosed in Great Lakes, right? Again, right? They didn't follow up with it at my command like they should have, right? Or could have, right? If that was even an issue, right? So that just means I would have gotten a medical discharge based on my hypersomnia instead of the schizophrenia. Though even sleep problems can cause you mental problems, right? Even if you didn't have anything before. which is the point, right? Now, ask my mom, did I go around telling her God's talking to me? No. Not until I got running in with Pastor Davis and his crew, right? And also, my shipmate's not training me, and it involved my new girlfriend anyway. Now, I had a dream at 12, though, after my dad was murdered, and I didn't have a chance to tell Sheena Johnson all this stuff, so I was probably trying to tell her in the letters. I don't know what happened. But anyway, I had a dream after that about a throne with a light shining from it, right? Right. And technically, the throne and the light, right? The light was like it was sitting on the throne, right? Well, that's what the Bible speaks about with Jesus, who can dwell in the light which no man can see, right? Something like that, right? Well, this light was sitting on its throne, right? And it was kind of like there was cloud, or see, a cloud is water vapor, right? So I was like in this water vapor environment, right, between me and the throne, like a cloud, like so I was looking at the throne for like 3 seconds, and that was it, right? No more than 5, right? And then I woke up the next morning, whenever Sunday school was that week, right? I went to Sunday school, and I told my teacher about the dream, right? Miss Wilkes or Wilson or whatever her name was, right? Well, she acted all science-y about it, right? All psychological, like she was a freaking psychologist or something, or a psychiatrist. And asked me, well, have you been eating anything unusual? Or have you been reading the Bible a lot? Well, I don't know. What does that mean, right? For a 12-year-old boy, right? About to turn 13, maybe, right? Who knows what it means, right? But again, if you're going to ask someone a question, it would generally be your Sunday school teacher, like I said, right? Well, if she didn't know what it means, I damn sure didn't know what it means. And guess who was left to figure it out for himself? Me, right? Well, the Bible says heaven is my throne, right? And the earth my footstool. So I figured the light was God, right? The throne was heaven, right? Because I was standing in the cloud with the throne. And then I was reading about the 2 witnesses, and that they stand before the God of the earth. Now, God ain't just the God of the earth, though. It's also the God of what? Heaven. And earth. Heaven first, then the earth. Right? Even science agreed that the atmosphere had to be made first for whatever life forms started developing on the planet. As they developed over the years before us, right, they had to be living in a condition where they could also live on the planet, right, until we popped up, right, millions of years later or whatever. Well, I got an answer to all that from the Bible itself too, right? A day with the Lord can be as 1,000 years, I guess, or maybe even longer, right? Well, what if each day is like a 24-hour clock, right? At least 24,000 years. I don't know, right? They don't know, right? Even Moses is hazarding a guess, right? But Peter backed up Moses and saying, a day with the Lord is as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is 1 day, right? And the day of the first day is the one where you can't measure, right? How long it was, right? Because all we know is God said, let there be light, and boom, there was light. Scientists might call that the Big Bang, right? We, even as Christians or Jews or Judeas or whatever, right? Orthodox Jews, modern Jews, whatever, right? Or even Muslims, no one knows when it all began. Right? All we know is we're here on this planet together, and we're all fighting over God, right? Which I think is very crazy and very bad. It gets you all in trouble. Instead of forgiving each other, right, our mistakes, we're judging each other, helping each other to make those mistakes, and then we'll admit we're wrong too, right? Because whatever happened with Sheena, she's part of the reasons we both did what we did with each other, right? Though, like I said, each person has an equal responsibility after they're 18 to discuss what they wanted from the other, right? Before they let someone pull down their panties, right? And my problem was, I didn't know Sheena, though she was going out to this Pentecostal church, her actual ideas of marriage was to wait for marriage or not, right? I know what? Some women do and some women don't, whether they're Christian or not, right? Now, she did tell me, like with Lisa's dad, how her dad tried to molest her, like with Joyce Meyer's dad, like I said, right? But I understood that, right, could happen, but I didn't blame her for it, and I didn't know that meant she wanted sex or not, right? I don't know, but right? That's all she really told me, right? The problem is she never said to me directly, I'm waiting for marriage. In fact, the night we met, we started making out, all kind of things. Got back to the ship, and I was going to try to pull down her pants and lick her. Right there in front of everybody, right? Yeah. I didn't care. I was going to lick that pussy. But anyway, she wanted to continue the date the next day, so right. That's what I was doing, man. Taking her where I left off, right? Kind of, right? And we really hit it off, and I thought everything was going great, right? Well, I get a few letters from her to my ship, and I write her, for my ship, right? I start telling her more about what happened with my mom, my dad, growing up in Georgia, how I had the dream, how I was dealing with different churches about it, right? Trying to tell her all that, right? But I don't know where it went crazy, but it went crazy, right? So again, I'm having to figure all this out, not because it's the will of men, but maybe the will of God, right? And not many men can even see the Son of God, right? But if you have, let me know. I'll believe you. If you haven't, let me know. I'll believe you. I'll believe you. Don't mean God ain't trying to reach us all in different ways either. But what he gave me would qualify me to be one of the two witnesses, don't you think? Whether you like it or not. It ain't my choice either, but I just have the dream and try to figure out what it means. It's in the Bible, right? You might draw that conclusion yourself, or you might not. I don't know, right? But try putting yourself in somebody else's shoes who's trying to explain it to you too, right? And not just looking at it from your point of view, right? That's all I do too, right? But I could also go to the local pool and swim, right? Like a fish, man. I can do the breaststroke, the backstroke, right? The butterfly stroke, right? I was kind of trying to train for a triathlon, kind of. I could swim, I could bike, I could run, right? I could walk anywhere, within reason, You don't want to walk more than 5 miles, right? But back then, even then, my transportation was the bus line, right? Because in Garden City, we had the bus line, right? Now, like I told you, I did get jumped by a few black guys once, right? But I guess I sat next to the wrong girl or something, right? That could happen to anyone too, right? But it's learning lumps, right? Right. You move on, you move on. I don't hold a grudge, right? I got dumped before by 5 guys, right? What? Could happen to anyone, black or white. If you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, that's just it. That's just it. There you go. There you go. But anyway, after that, right, I don't know what to tell you. I read a lot, I learned a lot in a few years, right? But I ain't got no damn money. I'm just a disabled veteran. What you want? Am I telling people your script, Ben and Matt? Right? No. But I am talking about something similar. Someone's accused of me of pedophilia on YouTube. That ain't even freaking funny. Because I really have a 4-year-old stepdaughter, idiot. Right? Or that I'm gay or something, right? What does my sexuality have to do with you if I got married to a woman even though she had a child, right? That was 4, right? I can't do nothing about that, right? People make mistakes, even my ex-wife, right? But I didn't, pin it on her like, she wasn't human any more less than I was, right? Human, right? We just seemed to, be instantly attracted to each other. She was kind of light-skinned African American, and I was, me. Kind of look Asian like myself, right? Trying to find a girlfriend. Or a wife, someone to marry me, right? Well, she didn't work out before I met her, right? With a few other women, more one-night stands. The longest relationship there was a girl named Rose in January, and then a girl named Stephanie, a woman named Stephanie, who had a son even, right? I would have married her if she was wanted, but she was still going through her divorce. So she was just legally separated. Right? It's like the woman at the well. She had 5 divorces under her hemp, and was living with a dude in sin, according to today's church, right? But Jesus just accepted her as she was, right? Hell, I wondered if he was picking her up. He might have had some of that himself. Would that shock you? I mean, the way you understand it is Jews don't even talk to Samaritans. He's chatting this woman up. Sam. Almost like he wouldn't mind having a piece of that, right? Well, what if he did? What if he hit her up, had sex with her too that night, right? Not only did he use her to tell her he knew she had 5 husbands and was living with a guy, and it didn't bother him any, right? He used her to meet the men, right? And told them come see a man who told me everything I did, right? But still treating me like a human being. Hello, right? No. That's going to get you interested. It's not them too, right? And again, right? You stay there a few days, right? Partying with them asshole Christians, right? They had a good old time with Jesus. You're miserable people in the church. You're lazy. You don't care about no one but self-righteous people. That's why people don't want to join your churches anymore. You're no fun. Take it from me, who's been to any type of church out there, right? From white to black, I've been to them all. Right? You're just both miserable about how you're living your life, and nobody seems to want to have any fun. Jesus seemed to be the life of the party. You're the party poopers now. By the way. You're no Jesus at all, right? Right. You're not even close to him, right? I think the devil like Jesus told you about the scribes and Pharisees, they taught you how to be a devil like them, right? And you're still learning from the scribes and Pharisees and not Jesus, right? Even in your own churches, right? You're raising up more scribes and Pharisees and you're rising up men of God too, right? Really? You're dull, you're boring, nobody wants to go around you. You always point out somebody's mistakes instead of letting them honestly confess them, right? You mess with people's marriages, you gossip, right? You do all kind of crazy stuff, right? And none of it is good, right? Now, would it shock you that Isaiah said of the Messiah that he might marry 7 women, right? And take away their reproach among men, right? Which back then that meant childbearing, right? See, some women had a problem getting pregnant. Like Hannah, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel. Right. Well, the Rachel could have been more because of Leah and her dad's pact with Jacob, right? I don't know. Maybe. And stealing his damn idol, by the way. Right. Told you about that too, right? How the dad and the son-in-law were arguing about a damn idol, and both wanted the person who took the idol to die. And lo and behold, Rachel died in childbirth. I wonder why. Damn. Because she took the idol, dumbass, right? And both are being jerks, right? About it, right? So let whoever take the idol die. I didn't take your damn idol. Well, Smith and man, who took it then? I don't know. But whoever took it, let him die. And then he went looking at Rachel's tent and she told him it's her time of the month. That comes from the Bible, by the way, man. And from a woman. That. It's her time of the month. Leave her alone. Well, actually, she was sitting on the island. Right? But again, she lied. And then she died. But she had the second son of Jacob. Right. But another reason might be if he was a positive blood type and she was already stainless. Right. That could have been another reason they couldn't conceive. I don't know. It's just possible. Right. But that's neither here nor there. I don't know. Right. I've heard all these rumors. Right. But don't mean you don't love each other. See, he talks to barren women as well. As women who can have children. Right. And a man with one wife or more than one wife. Right. But that's up to the women. Right. See, if you can't have women who get along and marry more than one woman, nor can you cheat on a woman who wants you to be with her. Right. Exactly. You can't even do that once. Right. Like Bart and Maribel and me and Maribel. But she still stayed with Bart, so I was tired of that. But anyway, whatever. Bye.